Hey everybody, this is Joanna. Woo! Today we're gonna shake it up. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Because you know what happens when we shake it up? We break away all the density and all of the harsh, squishy things that keep us stuck. We break away, break through. Today we're having a beautiful, playful day because there's some great change that I'm so excited, so excited, so excited. 2020, wow, what a powerfully tough year. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. Been a tough year, has it not? Hey, paying attention to more of who we are as soulful beings, as spirit, as joy, as creators, understanding more about the benevolence and the profundity of the sacred child within us all, the sacred children of our earth that are the evolutionaries, that each and every one of us are the evolutionaries, that each and every one of us are the divine male, the divine female, mother, father, that are harmonizing into one, that are being the sacred trinity of holy light, of our holy creatorhood, of our holy potentiation, of our holy new beginning. This is a catalyst for 1 month before 2020 ends. 2020, a profound and powerful year for us to really reflect and review who we are as spirit. We are spirit creating matter. We are spirit in the form of matter to create with spirit as spirit. The co-creation, creation, all that is, the omnipresence, all that is, multiverse, omnipresent universes, galaxies, all that we are creating with source. We are spirit creating with source. We are the soul of source. We are the soul of source, love, co-creation. And we've got a month to kind of reflect. Wow, let's do a life reflection. Let's do a reflection on this past year. Let's do a reflection on really what life has meant to me thus far. Life meaning all that you've been experiencing. And just understand that that in and of itself is only a pinhead of what your potentiation is, because you are spirit. You are all that is. You are the omnipresence. You are the multiverse coming into remembrance. That is self-actualization. The self, and you know, that word self has always kind of had a bit of a pull on me, because I remember in my first year psych classes, there was always those notions and you know, textbook understandings of the self. And again, how we've always tried to press beyond the older world realities of the words we've held, because sometimes they hold us in meanings that keep us living in cycles that are ready to break free and break out, which is why we offer the words that we do. We often offer you the infinite potentiation of the words and the vibrations held within the words and the stories within the words that we offer to break through into higher potentiation of who we truly are. Words are oftentimes, and it's only because of our own patterning and how we have entrained ourselves within our physical world. The ego defines itself of itself and is separate of itself, and how it sees itself within the whole self. And this is why I want to step out of that. The ego and the patterning and the conditioning that we have entrained ourselves as is limited to the words that we have used and how we have seen it used in our reality. The perspectives being unique through each and every one of us, but if each and every one of us are not pressing and creating with that light, then that continues to stay in a stagnant state of de-evolution. Because if it's not evolving, it's de-evolving. Stagnancy is de-evolving. If we're not allowing all that we are as spirit to continue to press out, to continue to create new meanings for our reality, and there's nothing that says anything cannot create new vibrational meanings for the words that we choose and create new words within them. We'll have to, because 3D words and 3D ways of living is not 5D ways of living. They are the culmination of all the wisdoms and the lessons and the blessings that we have co-created in those experiences. And now we're choosing to press out, because our reality will see, feel, and experience in different ways. Like the other morning when I woke up, and this happened to me a couple of years ago, in the acceleration of light that's coming on within the bodies, the multisensory systems, the way that we perceive and receive information, our receptors, as we call in greater light, as we live in greater light, as we accelerate our own selves, our hearts begin to see our reality as the enmeshment and the omnipresence that is source. And I woke up with this beautiful experience where the whole sky behind me was filled in these beautiful hexagon sacred geometries, which is the omnipresence of source. And why they're showing me how important it is that I use the sacred light language and the sacred toning, so that I'm allowing the heart and the soul of all that me is, the sacred child, now coming in this beautiful, joyful, playful stage, owning who I am, standing in my power, understanding that I have great power to co-create in this way, and I do have the rights and the freedoms to be fully who I am as a star child, as a higher vibrational being coming here to create light. And I will own it, and I will claim it, and I will be fully who I am, so that I can show this illuminated path for others, and I can actually experience it as I'm experiencing me being reborn. And why I offered that beautiful personal vlog, because through all of those experiences and clearing away those densities of all of our lineage, that so many of my lineage and the women within my lineage experienced abuse and rape and those demeaning experiences through traditions that have kept us in very limited roles. And who defines that, and why? And why are we continuing to follow those roles and those definitions of those that want to place those expectations on us? No one can place an expectation on you. You can choose not to accept it and just say, well, that perhaps might be your expectation and your definition and your need and want for me, but I am a divine sovereign being. I have the right to fully be who I am, and that's God's greatest gift, source greatest gifts, creator, omnipresence. For if we did not have that, there would be no evolution. If each and every one of us did not stand within our truth to be the fullest of who we are, any invention that we have had in our past would have never come to fruition, regardless of how others thought it was crazy or unimaginable or not plausible, not possible. And so we're just taking it, we're stretching it beyond, because this is a really powerful time at this point right now where we can reflect on all those moments where we did step out of the box, where we did redefine and we did say, yeah, I'm going to be playful today. Even in my job, I can choose to bring playfulness and joyfulness and bliss and creativity and curiosity as the sacred child, so that I can continue to press myself out. I can play with different foods that nourish my body, and I can play with different environments that absolutely help me feel into my intuitive gifts that I've been sent. And I'm working on, and I'm balancing, and I'm actually pressing out, and I'm honoring and honing these gifts. Thank you to my sacred guides. So many animal totems that are with me. Thank you. Blessed be the sacred child, they're saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all the beings that are with us. And you all know that when we come together and we come to commune, there's an infinite number of beings and collective beings that speak through me. And so know that there are many offerings of vibrational stories that are being offered through me for you. So I feel my heart chakra opening right now as the one human heart story. And all of these beautiful beings that are assisting me I've recently started to claim this and own this. Like I said in my personal vlog the other day, and I don't know if I explained it in a way that really gave the experience of what I'm moving into the fullest meaning. So I'll perhaps try again. So please, teams, help me explain, and the soul of all that I am, please help me explain the experience of this rebirth, in that I've placed who I thought I have come to be as the channel, and I'll present this as someone going to work, right? Your employee. I've played myself in my experience thus far as an employee of Source Creator. And I say that in the most sacred and honoring ways. I'm trying to allow you the experience of what I've experienced and offered myself as the offering of service, as the employee, as the sacred shepherd, if you will. But now I'm shifting into, and why it was important to claim and own all aspects of the journey as sacred, this rebirth experience, that is the sacred mother holding me in the beautiful womb of all that she is beautiful, graceful, and heavenly. For me to rewrite with my Source Creator Mother, my Source Creator Father, and my soul and my higher self, and to say, this is what I want to create now, and this is how I choose to be the source that I am. That's self-actualization. So that I'm shifting my perspective, because that was my limited perspective, to think that I was the employee of Source. And I'm only saying that because it's the only words that we have to allow you the sensation and feeling through which I had offered myself in ascension to humanity, to the multi-present experiences that I am connected with, many multidimensional councils and galactic councils and universal councils that I belong to right now that are tuning in. Thank you for your presence, divine and holy co-creators of light. And I am shifting my belief systems and who I am to be the full soul, the encompassment of all that I am as a soul, to know that it was a limited experience for me to say, this is my role to offer as much universal and multidimensional information as I can, and viewing it and purviewing it and perceiving it and being the perceptor of it from various perspectives. That was one of my gifts, to be that seer, that prophet, and that portrayer of vibrational perspectives, so that humanity could see through their own awakening that perhaps there's far more that we can feel into and be present with, so that we can absolutely start creating in this beautiful, magnificent way. And so I'm allowing myself to release those limiting roles of how I co-create with source now, and I actually engage with humanity in a new way, being vulnerable, being the encasement and the embodiment of light, to know that I walk as a field of light, to know that I can see fields of light, and I can engage and tangle with them in different ways and new ways, not to have it be a service, taking myself out of that employee role and be far grander and be that teams, can you express with me words that perhaps we may not have, that will allow me this new experience of vibration to be the flowing gift that is source creator as a sacred child. So blessing be the movement that is the natural flow of God's waters, of all that is, the flow of the sacred breath, the flow of sacred creation in material and matter form, within all that is source, through science, through spirit, through all that is the simple flow of you being you. And how may you be this magnificent experience? How may you be this magnificent essence that is source creator, co-creating in ways of vibrational energies that are not yet known to you? And perhaps you may not be so fixated on words. How may you just simply be? Does that not allow it for its highest experience and expression? For is there anyone and anything that can define source? For in all moments, there is the glorious experience of source. Hi, titkea, ma titkea, patka. I na titkea she na na ma nya nya hi shishia titka ma titkea sisia na ma titkea sia mama patka. So there's and these are newer experiences for me, because I'm allowing myself to be all that is with source creator. Thank you. But I'm allowing myself to be a part and the participation of all that is source that's occurring at a multidimensional level that you cannot see. Oh, perhaps you can. I certainly don't want to limit you. But there are vibrational flowing of that river that is source that's living through me, that are vibrations of consciousness that are in that sacred hexagon experience that I was seeing in the sky. That is the flowing movement of source. And so what they were really wanting me to move within a grander explanation is that when you're living in the flow that is source, when it's unexplainable, undeniable, and it cannot be put in words, it cannot be anything besides miraculous and magical, we're allowing ourselves the highest potentiation just to live in this playful flow that is source. We don't have to define it. And so they were saying to me, just relax, because that's how the ego wants to portray its reality, through the words and the definitions, but that even then limits us, does it not? And that was why we went through the explanation of what we just said. And oftentimes I don't understand why I say things the way I do until this now moment through which they're showing me that you were trying to explain something in your 3D reality, saying that I want to break free so bad, because you've been held to those words and definitions and perspectives of others and those conditionings and those patterns that you knew very well that you were far beyond and you were breaking free from. So what we're saying now is we're dropping in with source and all of consciousness, all the omnipresence, that's saying, why even give it a name or a definition? You can't, it's source. Just be playful within this new experience of who you are allowing yourself to flow as. It doesn't have to become anything, right? It doesn't have to become anything. I say become as the title and definition we give it. However, it will be open-ended to all potentiation, which is what they gave me this morning as we create this sacred, playful flow as source creator. Be playful within who you're becoming. Be playful within knowing that you're breaking out boundaries as you do. Releasing in every way. And anytime you feel those old tugs and those vibrational pulls that say, oh, no, you got to come back. This is the role you've been kept in. And this is what's safe for us to experience you in. And you can just say, well, but we can play in a different way now. We can actually put this on the table and say, what about this? What about this? And what about this? Because every person within that circle deserves their highest and best and freest will to be their sovereign self. It's their highest birthright. It's their highest personal right, spiritual right, the law of one. And that is direct alignment with source creator. And it will always be supported, and it will always be empowered. And there will always be the moving away of obstacles so that you are ensured your highest path of co-creation and benevolence, of free spirit. That is evolution. That is what is required most on planet Earth. So allow yourself to be okay with letting go of the definitions, because they box us in every way. And so what they offered was flow in the love and the honor to each person's path. So as we're experiencing these big changes at the end of the year, and we're experiencing ourselves that, okay, yeah, I understand that I'm awakening. I understand that things are new and they're different than they were than yesterday. I understand that, who am I? What do I exist within? And what exists within me? These profound questions are allowing me to awaken and become more of who I am. But it's also a part of my path to honor the flow and how and where people are in their paths. Honor everyone in their journey. Honor everyone and release the need to have others come along with you, or have others hurry up, or have others be in any other place than where they are. Because it is of the respect of every soul. And that is the allowance of the right use of will that they have been teaching me for many, many years now. Because that is the path of the master, is to knowing when is when, how much is too much, when to step back and allow things to unfold, how other people in their own unique soul experience have their own unique soul's plan. They're masters. Everyone is a master. Everyone comes with teams and beings of helpers and healers. Every person comes with their souls, their guides, all beings that are also connected with all beings. We all come with this incredible team of creatorship. I know that. I've known that for so very long, and I'm creating within it. That's why I'm able to create something from nothing. I can sit in meditation and I can create an illustration that will help someone. I can sit in meditation and I can do my channeling, and I can write channel, and I can sit and I can sing, and I can see what is not seen, and I can bring it to life. I don't have any other gifts and tools besides the paper and the visualizations and what we create through our manifestations of energy, and my passion to co-create and help others. My passion to serve God, my passion to be of service. And that is creating something from nothing. And everybody has that potential. How your knowingness of this, that knowing thyself, who am I? What do I exist within? What exists within me? And how can I create something from nothing? That's our birthright. You don't need to take it from other people. You don't need to have someone guide you to co-create it. No, you can create it yourself. You've got all the light. You've got the same teams everybody else has. You've got the same benevolent beings that are there to say, Spirit, I'm reaching out. I'm asking for an angel's guide. Please show me the way. I'm asking for something that I can use as my gift to help others, to break through my limitations, to break through my codependency, to break through my insecurities, to break through my lack of self, to break through my abuses, to break through my the wounding. Please help me. And I'm asking for that angel's hand, and you will receive it. You will receive it. You will always be put back together. I know this. I know this. This is a knowing. It's a knowing. It's a knowing. It's a knowing. That is a birthright. That is a God's gift. That is a truth. That's a truth. It's unshakable. It's a truth. And it's okay that others are in exactly where they are, so that they're in a full alignment with their soul's plan, and they will be ready to awaken in their unique time. Their souls and their teams and their angels and their guides are guiding them. They're guiding them into their direct path, and they will call in what they need to see what they need to see, to reflect what they need to reflect. And I've often had this conversation with my guides and my teams and Jesus about, the challenge that we have as transitioning into these higher vibrational parents and guardians, and the roles that are changing, and how we've been so steeped in these limiting roles, and how those limiting roles have allowed us, not allowed us, but have perpetrated limitations onto the children by how we think and we feel, and how we've been directed by our generations, the roles of parenting. And how can we totally shake that up and let it go and bring great light to it? Because they are masters. Each and every one, as Jesus told me, the children will pull in and call in what they need for their highest reasons and their highest blessings and their highest lessons. We are here to encourage, empower, and inspire them to be their highest and their best, to know that they are God. They are source. They are creator. They will be given the same opportunities. They have angels and teams with them. For us to assume and to place on them projections of, oh, no, you can't, or oh, no, you can't do that. It's outside of the realm of normality, and it's outside societal conditioning. No, break it open and say, hey, you got this. You are a maverick. You are a master. You are meant to be here. You absolutely have great light. You absolutely have incredible ideas. You are a master of evolution. Make no mistake about it. You will change this world in whatever way that you are meant to, that you are happy to explore and express and experience. And how different does that sound and feel to the child that is actually open to, yeah, let me create, let me get at that table of art. They want our inspiration. They want our encouragement to say, you can do and be and have anything. And your soul will call in exactly what it needs. Trust yourself. So how have we limited ourselves because of the control systems to say, oh, well, no, society has to tell me when I'm ready to go. The gate has to open before I move. Someone has to let it be okay, and they have to give me their blessing before I move on this. No, you are sovereign. You have every right to live within your birthright of who you are as source. That's God's greatest gift to you. That's source's greatest gift. Spirit is always offering the sun of creation to you. I say sun, S-U-N. The highest, brightest, lightest of all amalgamation, of all creation, of all spirit, of all that is, source will offer it to you. How may you know it's all there always? It's always here. It's always here. You don't have to wait for nobody. Get creating. You are sacred. You are a child of source creator. There's nothing you can't play and flow within. So allow it. It doesn't have to have a name to it. No definitions, no terms. That'll box you in and allow you. Then what the ego does, because that's just the entrainment of the ego, the ego will start, calling in, because this is what I used to do in my banking days. And I used to create training manuals for the sector of investigations that I was a team leader in. And I used to create these employee training guides for how to move through the different investigative processes. But as soon as, and this is what I was, and it's just reminding me right now, they're just reminding me that there's no accident on why I was a team lead in this very first unique introduction of this role in the bank at that time. It was the very first time that this role had been introduced. It had been introduced back east first, but in Western Canada, it was the first time that role had been introduced. So we had to create everything from scratch, which was great, because that was one of my fortes, is I could take anything and create something from nothing. And I really loved it. I enjoyed it. But that's what the ego does. Anything that there's a leveling up, you start to create something that the ego wants to make fit in its perspective, right? This is the room, if you will, of the house. And now you get to decorate it any way you want, which is fun and good. But is it still limiting because you're still placing the walls around that room? Why not that room just be open with no walls? Why can't it be with no ceilings? We can still call it a room because that's the words that we can use. Does that make sense? So we're allowing it to still be the room, if you will, but it doesn't have walls and it doesn't have a ceiling, but it is the room because it's where we allow ourselves to entrain vibrationally. Does that make sense? That's really important to get. Whereas if we're in a room in a 3D in your house and it's got the walls, it's got the sofa, it's got the couch and the chair, you see what we're doing? It's adding density to that vibration. And that's fine. It's a part of the experience. But as we're moving into 5D, it will be simply different. It would just be the all. It can have the vibration if you want to place it there, and then it will become there because you're creating matter from your spirit. And this is what's really important in your co-creative and manifestation experiences. Be in the flow of source. That purity of mind, that purity of heart, that purity of being that sacred child. I am that I am, as my name is. I have that will of the Holy Father. I have that beautiful experience of the allowance and the receiving of the mother. That is alchemy. I'm allowing my divine alchemy of all that I am to be that creative force, that creative curiosity of creation. I can just allow it. I can still say room. That's my vibrational room of 5D. And every time I want to vibrationally connect with that and garner that, I can call in any vibration, Lord Michael, Mother Teresa. I can call in the Holy Mothers. I can call in Gaia. I can call in the dolphins from Sirius. Do you see what we're saying? And so they're wanting me to thread back. This is how Joanna sees when she's in her auditorium. It's a circular auditorium, and I'm in the middle, and there's all of these consciousness beings that are around me, feeding me vibrational cues and packets of information and ways that I'm able to. Okay, so this is going farther beyond, and there's many beings that are talking through me right now. There are many ways for me to stretch my sensory skills and gifts so that I can begin to express and experience vibrations of source in a new way, so that I'm ever pressing out and ever reaching for new experiences of creation in new realms that are not yet the experience of the physical. Does that make sense? So it's there. It's vibrationally all there. We don't have the words yet for what there is. There is still here, but we are creating the here because we don't yet have the words for what is there. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Did I make sense? They're saying you're doing the best you can. I get it because I feel it. This is part of the intuitive gifts that I've come with, is that clear ascension, that clear knowing, that clear being. That's that I have those gifts and I feel what they're saying. So let me see if I can present that in a way. So, okay, So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So they're saying that we don't have words yet for what I'm experiencing. So be okay with that. I'm doing the best that I can to explain to you the vibration of allness. The allness becomes what we choose to vibrationally entangle and co-create within it, and why it's so important that we do the daily self-care and the clearing and releasing the shaking up of the density, because we don't want the density. We've experienced it. Why bring density into the all? You see what I'm saying? We've experienced it. We've been there. Close the gate, and it's okay. Everybody is where they are. They're going to have their unique experience. They're going to be exactly where they need to be. And you can focus on, okay, I want to be the flow of source. And this there is still here. It's still now. I can still garner it. It's here. It's right now. But I'm saying there because we don't yet have the words and the minutia, because the ego is still trying to compartmentalize. The ego is trying to explain. The ego is trying to define. The ego is trying to say, well, hey, what do you mean you're going? I don't have words there yet. That's okay. That's the game that the ego plays. How can you go there when there's no words to go there? How can you go there when those words help define our matter, helps define our world, helps define our place, helps define us against other people and how we perceive ourselves from the very first instance in our 3D experience, our individuation, right? That's why the psyche creates what it does. That's why the wounds start coming in, because you're then starting to compare yourself and want to manage yourself against a world that is imbalanced. When as spirit, you absolutely know who you are. You're all. You don't need definitions. Just go play. Do you see what we're saying? I hope that made sense. Put it down in the comments. And so have that be okay. These are the transitions, right? We're releasing ego, releasing attachment. The words keep us attached. The ego creates those words because it wants to create that physical world that has always been. This is different. There is different. The ego is a little bit freaked out because the ego is saying, wow, there's nothing there yet. What do you mean? Can I put a word in there so I can start building boxes and start building walls and ceilings? Does that make sense? And you say, no, I don't need it. We're going with the flow of source. Everything will be provided. Just sit back, chill, relax. I got this. And that's how we got to play, right? The curious child just goes into a playground and starts playing. Doesn't wait for the mom to sit at the gate and say, okay, now on those stairs, you got to step by step, and then you got to come down. No, kids will figure it out. Go. You don't need to tell a child how to play. Do we? Do we need to tell children how to play? We don't. Let them play. Be the sacred inspirator. Be the sacred empower and the encouragement that says, you got this. You know what you're doing. You came with those gifts. They're in your DNA. You will get activated. You will call in those people that you know. You will call in, your soul will call in a person that will allow you to reflect upon yourself, how great you are. You will call in those people that will say, you can't do this, just for you to say, oh yeah, watch me. And watch how great I will be at it. Because I'm allowing myself to flow with source. Trust your children are masters. Trust those around you are masters. They have their teams. They know what they're doing. And if they don't, then tell them they know what they're doing and go within and make sure they know what they're doing, because they got teams. They got God, just like you do. They got their light, just like you do. Be the illumination of encouragement, inspiration, and empowerment, and know that you can step in your path and there will be no walls. There will be no maps, and have that be okay. Allow that ego to just be relaxed in that. Just say, okay, ego, you're going to be tested on a few things. I'm going to be tested on a few things, but we're just going to go anyways. Trust in the fate and the hand of God, source, creator, the creators, your path, your soul. All that you are as a soul, this huge magnificence of who you are as soul. It's beyond what you can imagine. There are no definitions that we have created in human form that understand the profundity of your soul. There just aren't. That's you. There's no definitions. You're magnificent. There's nothing that can explain your soul or define it to you in a way that even puts it in proper words, and we can't. So they're saying, thank you. You're finally giving us credit. So thank you. Because again, many of what they've been teaching me through these great dense experiences and these dark nights of the soul that occur over and over again for me, just releasing and clearing the density from eons and from the collective. It's been such a challenging experience. And they kept, their return and their return to soul and their renewal of soul is just like, honor your soul. Your soul knows what your soul is doing. Your soul is so profound. Your soul is the brightest light in creation for you. Your soul knows exactly what you need, when you need it, how you need it, and how it will be delivered. And tell you this, make no mistake about this, and this is the pleasantry of God and all things, the blessing and the grace of God. Make no mistake about this is the sacredness that is life. God and your teams and your soul and the angels and all the heavens and all that is light will provide it to you in the most miraculous, delicate, delightful, magnificent way possible. And the only words that we have to explain that type of elegant grace. Because that's the joy. That's meant to be joyful. And this is why I'm so happy to step outside of that experience of being the employee. No, how drab. I mean, I'm thinking back now and it's like the only word I had to explain the type of feeling that I felt my service was, right? I felt obligated and a beautiful, profound service that I knew I came with. A profound soul contract to serve. I knew it at the youngest of age. I knew it. I knew it. There was nothing, anybody that could tell me otherwise. I absolutely knew that I was here for profound experiences. I didn't know what it meant throughout the times, and I still don't know what it means. But this is this rebirth now. This is where this rebirth is. You're not going to know. You're not. Your minutia and your dance and your flow with Source Creator, with God, your guides, your soul is going to change, and it's meant to, because Source Creator, the divine, the heavenly programs of light, there are an infinite number of timeline potentials right now that each and every one of us are stepping and co-creating now. The codes of light, the singing, the dancing, the creatorship, the heavenly angels, the heavenly children, all working together and creating these beautiful templates from our souls, from our passions, from our creativity. These timelines are fanning out. That's evolution. And which one are you going to be on? You get to choose. This is the dance. You are the beautiful, benevolent, maverick embodiment of Source. You are the presentation of heavens. Make no mistake about that. You are the heavens. Divine truth coming forward. You're the heavens. Which path and timeline are you ready to go on? There are no maps. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? There will be no maps. You will be shown. Can you trust in Source? Can you trust in Spirit that you're going to go here, you're going to go there, you're going to go here, you're going to go there? There will be no reasons. Are you okay with that? Can you trust in Source? Every step will be laid for you in your trusting, in your knowing that God is magical, Source is magical, the Creator is magical, the omnipresent and the sacred geometry of all that is will show you the way. Can you trust in that? Can you trust in the magnificence of your soul? Probably not, because that's not where we've come from. That's awakening. That's self-actualization. And when you go through enough miracles, because that's your path of awakening, that's ascension. When you go through enough awakenings, when you go through enough synchronicities, when you have enough opportunity and joy meet in hand and foot in foot, and that moment of crucible, you absolutely know that it cannot be explained. How our 3D definition of synchronicity is not what it is. It's the interaction and your entanglement with God in every way. Make no mistake about it. You're creating it for you to wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You are God. How can you create? Magical. You are a child of divine magic. So be it. Be the expression of majesty. It's here for us. There. You just got to step over. You just got to take that leap. You got to soar. You got to fly, and let nobody hold you back. Let no one hold you back that is stuck in their systems. It's okay. They can be stuck. And they can work it out in their soul's way, because that's what they need. That's what's gifted in stuckness. We've all been stuck. And stuck has a different presentation and representation to the lessons within it, does it not? We're not stuck. We don't know what unstuck means. It plays a purpose. It plays its role. It's okay. It's all okay. It's all perfect. And so what they said this morning was, be sensitive to those that choose not to change or how they change. It's not for us to judge any of it or demean any of it or disregard any of it. It's all a part of the dance. It's all a part of it. So be okay with it and be sensitive to it. It's what their soul needs. It's what their soul needs. Because we all knew what our soul needed, right? We had to go through it. We had to go through it. It wouldn't have been the full dance. It wouldn't have been the rebirth if we didn't go through the coming down the womb and the channel of the canal. We wouldn't have known, right? That's the experiential dance of Source. It's a minutia of energy vibrations, and you get to choose. That's God's gift to you, not to placate to others' needs and wants vibrationally, but to choose from your wants and needs vibration of the curious child that you are to co-create within it. Be sensitive to those that choose not to change and how. All is valid to their soul's path and their agreement for growth. That's why we say that right use of will is so important, and why we've talked about spell casting and things like that, and to really use your discernment on how to feel into energy and energy workers and everything that you feel drawn to. And really feel into that same vibration of right use of will. It's not for any one of us to say, your soul's agreement is this and that. Your soul's agreement must do this and that. No, it's up to that soul, source creator, their guides, and their higher self. It's not for anyone to say, you know, you must be with this person. You must do this with this person. And you must co-create with that person. You know, no. And this is where we go back to the parenting and the co-creating, the guardianship and the empowerment, inspiration, encouragement. How are we depraving creative free expression of being sovereign, of course, within all reason of safetiness for every child, of course, and for the unique needs of every child, of course. That's not what we're saying, and we never blanket statements. What we're saying is that how can we release the limitations of controlling subjugation that is so subtle and steeped everywhere in our experience, to truly be releasing it and know that every soul is a master. Every soul comes with teams. Every soul comes with specific soul lessons. And for any one person to manipulate energy otherwise, whether it be through spell casting or energy, you know, however people choose to experience and explore energy, it's fine. It's about their soul's experience. But it's not for any one person to press upon any energy to make any certain outcome for anyone. That's really crossing the line of free will. And again, those will include those return energies for that person to learn about it. Because the highest laws in our universe are the right use of free will. Honoring every soul's unique path under the guidance of their higher self, under the guidance of their soul, under the guidance of the divine. And are we aligned with that guidance? Are we aligned with the spirit of the soul? Are we aligned with us as spirit creating matter? That's been the disconnection. That's been the disorganization and the what are they saying? So they're saying it's completely been left out of your experience as growth. That's why you're at the state that we've been in. Because these understandings of who we are as spirit, not honoring free will, not honoring the respect of love and all life. That's been why we've experienced what we have, and why the ego has such challenge when you offer it something that's open. Whoa. I've been in a cage for 40 years. You know, I've been told what to do and how to do it for 40 years. And people have been telling me my role and my definition and how I can move and how I cannot move. No, it changes. We're changing it. And I'm one of the ones to shake it up and change it. That's part of my soul purpose. I'm not here to stay stuck in a box, and I won't. You give me a box and I will break out of it. I will. I will break out of whatever definitions and roles that are placed upon me until my soul has its freedom and liberation to be fully with spirit and to flow with spirit and to be with spirit. I will no longer be confined in old world expectations and definitions and role expectations. Nobody places expectations on me but me. Source and I work that out. And it's not even a word we like to use. Spirit speaking through me right now. It's not even a word we like to use. Just play. Be playful. Why does there even have to be an expectation? That's when spirit and ego, you know, are being replaced. That's when you start stepping into ego and start controlling outcome because of the fear factor. What will people think of me? Will I be accepted? Will I be supported? All of those things, every single person has to work through. Absolutely. I work through every single one of those densities and those fears. Anything in your field, anything in your consciousness, anything in your lineage, anything within the collective that you're meant to step over, especially for the sacred children. Will I be accepted? That's one of the earliest psyche experiences. You know, our individuation of who we are within the all, within the collective, within the who and what we are mirrored within. That's how we understand our world. And that's the way it's meant to be. When we step into 5D, we will be as one in the all, vibrationally. We will be that sacred geometry in the sky. How may I co-create in these beautiful majesties? There are no expectations. Let Source take care of that and have every unfolding be magical and miraculous. That is as we are. Spirit. Spirit living through us. We are the embodiment of spirit. We are the manifestors of matter. So how may we be miraculous in it? Why place an expectation on it? If you're limiting it, that's not Source. Source doesn't say you're going to have the free will to create whatever you want, but this is my expectation of you. That's not Source. That's not. You know, it might be an old doctrine, that says if you don't do that, then you're going to, you know, go to hell and you're going to get burned on a chair. And that's not source. Those are misrepresentations, and those are egocentric doctrines. That is not what the masters came to teach. No master has ever said that. So it's okay that it's a belief. It's okay that it's a part of our experience. That's okay. Nothing wrong with it. There's no judgment. But source would not allow you the free will to create and say the expectation is that you do this or else. Source would never say that. That's man's representation. That's human's representation. It's a beautiful, elegant gift and experience. Source allows you to experience all that you are, and that is the beautiful and blessed gift. That's the gift. Through how you create, you will absolutely see that what you put out is what returns to you, is how you experience your reality. The vibration you create, the vibration how you feel, all that you are creates your reality. Like, again, remember, so they're showing me this. Back in the olden days, when people wrote sacred script, they only had the words that they had to explain and describe what spirit was sending them, just as they showed me in a minute ago, where I was trying to explain a space where nothing was there yet. There is, but we don't have words yet. See what we're saying? So when people created doctrine, when people created sacred script, absolutely the vibration of it was pure in the words that it was able to explain and express. But remember that the creators of that sacred script were only able to explain and express what they had the consciousness level at the time. Our words and our vibrations have changed infinitely in 3,000 years, 4,000 years, 5,000 years. We've had tribes on our planet that have been over 50,000, 120,000 years old that have not been, you know, discovered yet. See what we're saying? There's vibrational timelines and threads within everything, but we have to understand that if we're taking everything as verbatim, then that's de-evolution, because there was only what was used at the time, just like we only have now what we have at the time to explain what we don't even know yet. See what we're saying? It's all vibrational, and it's beautiful. It's all been purposeful. It's all been magical. It's all been the beautiful elegance of this sacred soup that we're able to explore. And that's what Source says. Here's your planet, explore it. And what you see comes back to you is how you are a master in your creations, whether it's negative or positive or even neutral. It's all beautiful, it's all source, but can you create from a consciously aware place so that you're allowing the greater use of all to be involved in the co-creation, so that all peoples are respected, so that all peoples can dance with you and entangle with you and co-create with you? Can you release the ego to say that we are all perfect, we are all equal masters of co-creation? One person is not a greater creator than another. It's all equal. We're all equal in creation. See what we're saying? So the masters came forward. We're creators of mastery. Can we create from a place that is loving and benevolent and honoring the sacred will of all beings? The sacred will, the free will that we have to create and be our true full self. Those that have been disenfranchised, allow them to be lifted through your knowingness of who they are as masters. Do you know the challenges that we've all faced as disenfranchised? Whether it's a divine child, whether it's a sacred female, whether it's been, ancestrals, those that have come with, the physical representation of challenge. It doesn't matter how it's defined. We are all equal masters in creation. Can we create from a place that is oneness and equal? Can you imagine a world in creation if we did that, where there wouldn't be leaders thinking they're better than other leaders and putting other leaders down because they think they're better than other leaders? Does that sound like a representation of oneness and unity in leadership? Where one for the all and all for one. How can we create great wealth for all? How can we create great wealth for all, that even those that have the most unprivileged experiences, and we release those words altogether, and all are privileged? Can we fill into these vibrations and be them? Can we step outside and lift the hands of all that have been disenfranchised, so that each and every one of us says in each and every one of our days, how have I allowed others to feel lower and less than me through my behavior of egocentric, controlling energies that I've lived within and I've claimed as a part of my soul experience? Can you claim that? And if you can, that's a huge awakening. That's your conscious awakening right there. When you sit in conscious reflection and say, did I make someone feel less than? just because I wanted something to go my way, just because I wanted to win, just because I wanted to seem right, just because I wanted to, have things work out in my favor. Again, that's ego controlling the manipulation of the outcome. That's old world energy. That's okay. It's all perfect. It's all about a soul growth, right? But everybody has that free will. Everybody has that free will to shake it up and say, in any way that I have allowed any other energies to be greater or less than my own, this is my soul path. This is my soul path. And I allow you your soul path. And I allow you your soul path. And I honor you for your soul path. And we are equal. I choose to open up now. I choose to consciously choose right now to have all as equal. We are equal. You're a creator. You're a God. You're equal. And I want to empower you. I want to inspire you. I want to encourage you. You are here for a great reason. You are here as a master. You know what you're doing. And I forgive myself and I forgive all others in which any words, any energies, anything that was placed that was less than. You're not less than. It's all equal. And I release this to the heavens. I've learned my lessons. We are equal. We're one. How can we be this flow of God creatorship? How can we be this elegance of playfulness? How can we allow everyone to be playful and free themselves from all of these limitations that keep us so very boxed in? And all of it is okay. I'm passionate about it because I've experienced the boxed in and I'm ready to break out. And it's what's held me back for so long. Knowing that I held such great light and I felt so held back because I felt obligated to expectations and roles and definitions that were not mine. I didn't make any of it up. I just fell into the role saying, okay, it's like that employee thing, right? Am I an employee of the universe and I have no say about what's going on? No, you absolutely do. You're creating your reality. Everyone that you reflect and you have in your life is reflecting you something to transcend, to overcome, to allow, to be, to accept, to honor, to forgive, to love. That's soul growth. That's soul growth. It's not to achieve anything. This is where they said, let go of the expectation because then you think you have to achieve something. I'm here to be the pressing out of source. I'm here to be the pressing out of spirit. I'm here to be the pressing out of energy. I'm here to do the best that I can to explain in words what we really exist within and who we are and our potentiation of it all. And even then, there is no absolute words that are even close to going there. Because we're just, like I said, we're just at the tip. This is the tip of the iceberg, right? It's infinite. And everybody's going to have their unique dance with it. And it's meant to be that way. It's so meant to be that way. It's a dance. It really is a dance. There's one day the Divine Mothers were showing me this beautiful ceremony experience. And that all of the Divine Mothers in the universe were coming to create with me. And they were showing me this image because I love this card and this image. It's one of my favorite cards. And they were showing me this background of this image and these beautiful goddess mothers and sisters and energies were just the most profound wisdom and elegant goddess greatness. There's no words to explain their collective energy. And they were all coming and surrounding me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so small compared to them. And I felt like this tiny little flower in the corner. And I just like, oh my gosh, the greatness that I'm surrounded by. It was just overwhelming. And I just broke down crying in their magnificence. And they're just saying, this is you. You're not. You are this, but you're all things. They were saying, this is you. You're projecting to yourself that you're so very small and insignificant, not valued, and that you can't change. I'm telling you that you can change. You are the crucible of change. You're not small. Sometimes you might feel like this when you're stuck in your bellowing in your dark night of the soul, and that's okay. That's okay. Because the smallness is the greatness. It's the micro, it's the macro, and it's how you create your perspective of your greatness. You're not small, you're so big. And when you want it and you consciously choose, I choose to level up. I choose to be my greatness. The heavens will succumb around you. And you'll drop to your knees in tears. You will. That's the glory of Source, Creator, Spirit, God. It's so magical. And I've had those experiences over and over and over again. That's what we're moving into as a reality. And why we can't define it and put boxes and words around it. It's not meant to. Every step in between of what seemingly is smallness and limitation and boxiness and however we define limitation is so profound. Why I have such I have such great gratitude for everything that I've experienced in the darkest moments. It's not small. It's so not small, I'll tell you. Sacred children, whatever it is that you're going through that feels so challenging and dark, even if you've created some darkness for yourself, I'm telling you right now, you've created it because you're a master to transcend it. Just like stepping over a rock in the playground. That's what Jesus showed me one day. There's going to be, he was saying to me, the teams were preparing me. They've been preparing me my whole life for changes that I'm meant to be a part of on this planet. And I never believed them. I always felt so small and like the little tiny flower because that's what was shown to me in my reality. Every time that I did break out to play and every time I did break out to be my magnificence with spirit, because that's what they were telling me. Your magnificence don't matter what anybody else says to you and shows you and demeans you. You are the all. And no matter what I was teased in or berated in or, however challenging it was, Jesus showed me. He showed me. He's so very playful. He showed me just jumping over this like 2-foot high brick wall, this concrete wall. And he just said, in his white gown. It was so funny. Thank you, Holy Jesus. Thank you, Master. He's saying, thank you. You've got this. He said, you can be playful with those challenges. Why not? He says, you're all so serious sometimes, right? Can you just laugh? Can you know that you've created something so profound, as challenging as it might seem, insurmountable as it might seem? Can you hop over it? But are we perceiving it that easy? If you knew that you had the heavens behind you, with your pure intent to be your full self, if you knew that the heavens were behind you in your graceful walk in presence of your allness, not in the presence of your ego, because your ego wants what it wants. That's the difference. Your guides will guide you anyways, even if it's your ego. But when you're here to truly transcend darkness that was placed upon you for learning and lessons, and you knew that you had the heavens with you to transcend it all and to rebuild it all, to be the magnificent waterfall of grace that nourishes all lands and all people and all grains of sand, if you know that within yourself. Jesus showed me, it's just like hopping over a rock. You can do this. There's nothing that you cannot do with the support of spirit. There is nothing. You walk with the consciousness, you walk with the collective of the angels. There's nothing that can transcend that. There isn't. There isn't. Do you know this? Is it a knowing? In the magnificence of my heart, I offer all that I am in service, and I want to play, I want to dance, I want to sing, holy creators, holy Gaia, holy human family. And I know that any challenge before me will be transcended in the greatest and in the greatest of ease of all, so that the greater good can be served. And I know this. I walk with the heavens for no other reason than to be me. I get that freedom. I get that choice. That is my free will. That's the blessing and the gift of God. And I have that right. And in this knowing, all will be made miraculous and real. And that matter starts coming together. Do you see what we're saying? That's the alchemy of love. So magnificent. Thank you, holy creators. Thank you, Spirit, for being with me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so this is our last divine feminine sacred script teaching for today. Opportunity is that of trusting what is. Again, walking with the heavens. Do you trust that you walk with the heavens? In your pure heart alignment, to be your fullest truth, to be love, to express love, to be compassionate and one in goodness to all, and sending goodwill to all, and being the light for all, and sending that desire for truth in all things, for the awakening of truth within all things, no matter how challenging it must be, no matter how your voice might shake in bringing that truth and bringing that light to the foreground. And no matter how hard it might seem for you to stand and be in your truth, as there is density and discouragement or lack of integrity around you, no matter how your voice shakes, know that you are with the heavens. That's that knowing. That's knowing. When you know that you are within the free will and the right that is source creator, the law of one, and you're aligning with the truth that is source, that is love, that is greater good for all, and you know that the universe is supporting you, you walk with the heavens. The angels are with you side by side. They're with you. And everything will be moved. And you will get exactly what you need to get in every lesson out of it, because your soul wanted that. Your soul wants those challenges. But you know that the soul and your spirit and God will support you, and those things will be moved. Opportunity is that of trusting what is, and the knowing the infinite of what can be. As you step into oneness with God, Creator, Spirit, all will be met. So how we define opportunity in our old world systems is not what it truly is in the all. You see what we're saying? We're always allowing ourselves to break open into our allness, into our soul potentiation, our embodiment of soul, our embodiment of love. And you need to allow yourself to know your specific, unique truth with source. What's my truth? Not to be defined by others' truths. And that will be the test that every person has to go through. It's a part of our transition into ascension. Everybody goes through it. It's a part of the play, and it's part of the dance, it's part of the puzzle. Because that's how we learn to be in our full truth. Opportunity is that of trusting what is. All is source. Are you in that knowing that all is source, and I'm playing with source? I'm going to create my curiosity. I'm going to create my excitement. I'm going to create my joy. I'm being in my highest truth. I love music. I love dancing. I love painting. I love me. I love that I'm in charge of my cells. I love that I'm in charge of my health. I love that I can create something out of nothing. I know who I am, and I love to inspire others to know who they are too. Not my path, not doctrine, not any other path, but just to know, you know what? It's all true. It's all valid. It's all real. It's all a part of the soup that is source. It's source. Source put you here and says, there you go. You get to create within it. You have that free will. And everybody has that unique path to find it, to seek it, to know who they are within it. And co-create from that childlike excitement. Opportunity is that trusting of what is, the all that is. As within, so without, as above, so below. Who are we? What do we exist within? And what is? How is our potential? The knowing of the infinite. Again, infinite. We are, as I am, my name is. Of what can be. Anything is possible. Source. Are you flowing with source? Are you allowing source? Are you surrendering to source? Is it this beautiful dance with source? Is it this beautiful exploration and experience and expression with source? Are you being your fullest self with source? That's all that matters. As you step in, oneness with God, the creator and spirit, all will be met. All aspects of your experience will be met, whether it's abundance, health, wealth, friendship, soul tribe, a beautiful soulmate, a star mate, whatever it might be, all will be met. Food on your table, it'll be met. Is it your knowingness that it will be met? That's the difference. And our old ways of behaving is like, no, I've got to control this. I've got to do that. I've got to do my routines. I've got to do this, this, and this. I've got to make my 60 hours this week. Okay, but can you create a new perspective that says, if I do and live and be as I wish, as I be the experience of love, as I be the experience of sacred song, if I be the experience of who I am as a sacred child, I absolutely can create a new belief that my funds and my well-being and my food and that my income and that my bills will be paid for. Can I create that? And Source is saying, absolutely, there you go. Right? It's so magical. It's so magical. So magical. And we send each and every one of you the highest light for you being the opportunity of who you are in new beginnings and new essences of creation. You are the experience, you are the exploration of source and happiness and joy. And our intention is to always inspire, encourage, and empower you to explore your fullness, to explore who you are as source, to be absolutely the love of who you are, and to experience yourself co-creating as love. To pour all of that you are, your soul of all that you are as love. Pour love into you, pour love into your reality, and you'll see it in every way return back to you. That's walking with the heavens. That's your opportunity. It will create for you. It's so magical. That's miraculous. That is the opportunity of your knowing. So brilliant. And it's your time to shine. Be the shine. Thank you, divine and holy creators. Thank you, divine and holy creators. Oh, and there's one last thing that they gave me. I don't think I read this out. Choose consciously to move on as the heart and soul of all that you are and create in this way. I mean, how profound is that one sentence? I mean, there's vibrational energies within it all. You know, we all have to create from those spaces of not knowing. We all have to create from those spaces of not being in integrity. We all have to create from those spaces of ever refining our truth with source. That's why that's why we can release judgment on all of it, right? We can release the judgment. Release the judgment, forgive it all, forgive it all, forgive it all, forgive it all. And know that it's just a natural progression of light coming into all density, coming into all things that were hidden, coming into all things that were held down in fear and limitation. It's meant to, it's a part of the process. We can't have enlightenment without the breaking up of it. Breaking up doesn't serve the greater good or disenfranchises certain others. It's all meant to be a part of the dance. And how do we, in our unique divine soul self, holding ourselves accountable to our soul's highest truth? That's our role, to hold myself accountable for what my truth is. That's where you're continually the renewal of the source. You know what? I get to state what's okay for my body. I get to be the one that says, this is what I'm attracting, this is the vibration I'm putting out, and this is my path that I'm going to move on because I have that sovereign free will. I have that free will and free right. I get to define who I am. And if I choose not to, that's my choice. That's my free right. That's my free will. I'm a sovereign being of source, and I will create in this way. And that's the renewal of who you are. You're ever refining your truth. My truth is becoming ever more powerful with source. And make no mistake about it, that is your opportunity of the miraculous co-creation. That's when something becomes from nothing. You have that sense of knowing for your body, and every illness within it will be fading. You get to create it new every morning. Are you in that knowing? Every cell is under your commandment, every organ. And you back yourself with the heavens in that knowing, and you will be healed. It's a knowing, as my name is. Thank you, Holy Mothers and Sisters, for the greater creation of the divine feminine sacred wisdom. Thank you so much for the Holy Jesus for being with us and the creators of the Holy Christ. Thank you, Mother, Father, and Creator gods and the feeling. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And there's various beings from Sirius and the felines. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. And we'd like to offer you some quiet and gentle repose. Thank you so much. How may you stay the course in happiness? So they're showing me these feline cats, or humanoid felines, and they're beautiful, gorgeous beings. And they're in this beautiful open field and just kind of playing and running with grace and power. You know, they're just so elegant and so powerful. And so how can you stay the course in playing and being this playful? So they're showing me that, so they're showing for me, from my own personal experience, they're showing a background story that I'll explain. That when you play and when you allow yourself to play, when you allow yourself to be sacred in your playing, just being you, you know, when kids used to be just let free on a field and they just running as fast as they could and their arms and their legs were going everywhere and their body was trying to stay in between it all. You know, they were just having the best time. They were just going as fast as they could because they know they could. And in their mind, they were like, you know, they were the fastest kid on earth. I always thought myself as being really fast, but I really wasn't. I was so slow. But I just felt in my mind, in my heart, I was like, I'm going so fast. I'm just going so, and you were telling your friends, hey, look at me. And you'd be behind you and then they'd be whipping by you. It's like, oh man, I wasn't going that fast after all. So what they were telling me is that the beautiful felines, thank you, the beautiful playful beings, that just because you're allowing yourself to play and dance a little and be playful and having this sacred experience, they're saying, make no mistake that it's still a part of you staying the course. Part of my soul's experience is to get out of the overgiving and overworking. You know, thinking that's part of my soul's lesson as the divine feminine, that I had to prove myself and work 10 times harder to be acknowledged and seen and valued and respected and honored in a collective experience that was very driven by male dominance, you know. And I say that in the egocentric representation of our systems. And so for me to break free of those experiences of, you know, having to work so hard and to overwork and to overgive and to, you know, placate into this experience of the ego saying I must complete and do all these things so that I can be seen for who I am as intelligent and a leader and wise. And, you know, those are egoic energies that I've released and now starting to be okay just playing. 2021 will be about playing, working less and creating more, because you're in that flow of source creator. All will be well, always. And have that play be a part of staying the course. Make no mistake about it. It doesn't have to be. So it was for me, it was a very personal message for me, because for me, it was like, I've got to create an illustration today, because part of my Aries, that's my Aries energy. I am a crystal child and I press out, press out, press out, press out. But because it's such a powerful energy within my bodies and my experience, because I'm here to create great things. And it needs me to be always pressing out, pressing out, pressing out. What can I do today? How can I get this out today? How can I, you know, that's why I've always been a great manager in business, because I was on top of everything. I was just like, okay, you know, managing everything and micromanaging. And it just gets, okay, enough, done. I'm exhausted. You know, got the job done. Yeah, but you're freaking exhausted. You know, so now they're saying, okay, change it up, Joanna. Are you ready to step outside your comfort zone? You know, are you ready to create magnificence and not work so hard? And you're like, what? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't got to work 100 hours this week. Oh, we've all been there. And that's that's going into 5D. You don't have to do the 60, 70-hour work week. That's not working smarter. You know, you can't be in spirit working that, because that's all ego. Spirit is the relaxation and just allowing that curious child to come forward and say, hey, you know what? Look what I did today. You know, and boom, there's a miracle. You know, it's trusting. Your level of knowingness, trust. You got this. You got this. Choose consciously to move as the heart and soul of all that you are. You're putting all your heart into whatever play you're doing. There's going to be something great come out of that. And release yourself from the ego energies that I've got to make a living. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do this. I've got to do that, especially from what we've all come from 2020. It's been an experience for us to sit back and say, how can I really align with what's important to me, to be the sacred player, to be the sacred one that presses out, to be the joy of who I am. And in all that, it will come to you. And release the idea of, I've got to have my bills paid, my rent, and release it. Because here is different. Can you know that you will have a friend that will just offer you a place to stay? Can you know that your meals will be met? Can you know that perhaps someone will offer you their house because they're going traveling for a year? That's the level of anticipation and opportunity. No expectation. Because it will be limiting. Source will want to give you the blessings in a miraculous forms. The intention we hold just to play, that's enough. So choose from your heart and soul to live there. Live in your heart, live as your soul. And all will be made miraculous for you. That's source. So miraculous, so amazing. Thank you, source. Thank you, source. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, spirit. Thank you for the Holy Divine for being with us today. And thank you for the archangels that are allowing us to have these beautiful transmutations and these activations within our DNA, within our fields, and within our bodies, so that we may align with our highest and our best. Always from the heart and always from the soul, we allow our highest appreciation and gratitude for all that we are as spirit and the embodiment of all that we are as human. And we thank you so much, the holy creators. We thank you so much, spirit. We thank you, Gaia. We thank you, all the spiritual creators. We thank everyone within the light programs that are assisting us in healing our bodies every day and every night. We thank you so much for all the activations and all the codes and all the blessings that we are given. And we are so ready to dance with creation. We thank you so much. Thank you, human guides, and thank you, our human co-creative experience. We're so grateful for all of you. We're so grateful for Gaia. We're so grateful for all of our guides and our higher selves and our souls coming together to co-create new ways upon earth for the sacredness and the oneness of all, lifting everyone to their highest potential, being the highest and the best for all. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.